Hey, it's Rick here. It is the middle of September 2010, and based off of a lot of comments and feedback that you guys have been providing me, you want to see a new updated iPhone 4 case roundup video. So that's what this is today. You can see I got a ton of cases to cover, so I'm going to keep it brief. If you're looking for in-detail video breakdowns on each one of these cases, check out my other videos on my channel here, and I will provide that to you. Today's video is going to focus on three categories, the first being cases that are one piece, the second category will be cases that are comprised of two or more pieces, and then finally I'm going to look at the third category, which is bumpers. So let's go ahead and take a look at the first category now. Okay, so our first category today is one-piece cases, and the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to work from the top left, which will be my least favorable case in this category, all the way to the bottom right, which is my most favorable case in this category. This is all based on my own personal experience with these cases. I will give a quick outside tour of each case and tell you if it impacts the flash, and then also talk to bump and drop protection. So let's go ahead and start with the Switch Easy Nude. This is a hard plastic case. This is what it looks like on the outside, all enclosed on one end. Big opening for the dock on the bottom. Your cutouts for your buttons on the side as well as on the top. And this case, for your camera cutout, it does impact the flash just a little bit. And when I say that, I'm referring to if you take a picture in a dark scenario, it's going to create artifacts or a whiteout or a washout effect. The case doesn't offer a whole lot of bump or drop protection, if any, but it does offer some scratch protection. It shows some fingerprinting and it shows some scratches on the back of the case as well. And those are the different colors that I have. So this would be the least favorable in this category for me. Next up is the Griffin Reveal. This is the revised Reveal with the new camera cutout. This is what it looks like on the outside. We've got all enclosed on this side. There's your top. There's your side. Buttons are relatively easy to press on this with the case on, and here is the back. This as well, even though it has a revised cutout, it does create a hint of whiteout in your photos if you're taking them in darker scenarios, so keep that in mind. This will also show fingerprinting and some scratching and rainbow effects over time, and this area I would have liked to be a little more rigid because it does peel away just slightly from the phone. So that is the reasoning behind why I've placed this where I have in this category. Next up is the iSkin Solo, and I've got three different colors here. This is a softer TPU case, one of the softer ones that I've got, and if you take a look at the tour of this case, this is what it looks like here. So we've got your buttons here on the side, your switch area, there's the area for the dock, this area is all enclosed, and then likewise on the top, and then your camera cutout. This as well exhibits some issues with the flash. Not huge, but there is some that is exhibited there. This is a softer case, as I mentioned, and I do have some issues with button presses on this that make it a little bit difficult to press the buttons, and sometimes this sleep-wake button gets stuck. So keep that in mind. That is the iSkin Solo. Next, we move into the bottom area here, where any of these cases I would highly recommend. You can't go wrong with any of them. This is the Spec Geometric case. They now have a revised camera cutout, but I never exhibited any issues with the flash on this one, so keep that in mind. This is a different case because it has bumps here and here, which help with ergonomics and gripping it. This area is all enclosed. That is what it looks like on the bottom. Here's your side area, and there's your top. And then again, the camera cutout. This area will show some fingerprints over time. I haven't seen any scratching though. And this is a little bit flexible, but it stays on the phone. All the buttons press very, very easy on this case. So if you like the style of this, I think it's a great case to look into and put on your iPhone. And it does offer a good level of bump and drop protection. In this category, out of all the cases that I've tried, this probably offers the best bump and drop protection. I feel very secure putting this on my phone. And this is a Spec Candy Shell, the revised Candy Shell with the new camera cutout, as you can see there. And this is the purple. Keep in mind, it's going to show fingerprints and it's going to show scratches in this color. Now, if you have one of the white ones, it will not. Buttons are very easy to press. That's that side. There's the bottom with the dock, all enclosed there, and the inside of the case. And again, your camera cutout and the top. Because this offers such a good level of protection from bumps and drops, It's a little bit thicker, so keep in mind, one of the downfalls is it may not work with all the docks out there. You're going to need something like a SendStation dock extender. And thankfully, when I use this case, I have one of those. Otherwise, it just doesn't fit in all the docks that I've got. Next up is the Incipio NGP, and this is a TPU case as well. It's a little bit more rigid, so it stays on the phone very well. Here's the side. There's the bottom for your dock area, all nice and opened, all closed here, and then likewise on the top. All of the buttons are very easy to press on this. No issues with the flash, no fingerprinting issues, no scratching, and it offers a moderate level of bump and drop protection. Highly recommend the case. It's reasonable, and it comes with a screen protector as well. And then finally, the Spec Pixel Skin HD, and depending on which version you get, there is a revised version. And as I understand it, one of the issues they had for a short period of time with this case, it came out with a harder material where these buttons were very, very rigid and very hard to press. So if you get this case and you find the buttons are extremely hard to press, contact Spec and they can probably do something for you. But if we take a look at the outside of the case, you've got it all enclosed on one side. There's your area for the dock, your cutout and your coverage for your volume, and also what the top looks like. And this is the old camera cutout that had the keyhole style. The new has the pill-shaped. This does not show scratches, nor does it show fingerprints. It is an excellent case so long as you get the one that has the responsive buttons. And I would say if you're looking for top-notch protection in this category, Spec Candy Shell is what you're going to want to go with. If you're looking for a mix of moderate level of protection along with slim factor, you're going to want to look at the Spec Pixel Skin HD or the Incipio NGP. Both are very, very similar in form factor, just two different design choices. So that is the one-piece category for iPhone 4 cases. So our next category of iPhone 4 cases is cases that are comprised of two or more pieces. And this is the SGP case, the Ultra Slider, and it has three pieces to it. You put this back plate on the iPhone and then you slide your iPhone into the case. I do have some fit issues with this case that prevent me from recommending it in this category. But if you take a look, you can see that we've got our cutout on the side. You've got your bottom area that is cut out here. This side is all enclosed. The top has your cutouts, and then the back you've got your cutout for the camera. This area will show some scratching and fingerprinting over time. If you do not use the lens hood that they provide with this case, you will see some artifacting with your flash on your iPhone 4 camera. That is the Ultra Slider. Next up is the Spec. This is the fitted case. It's got a material on the back. That's a keyhole style cutout for your camera, and I haven't seen any issues with the flash. However, they do have a revised version that has the pill-shaped. If you take a look up at the top here, you've got your cutouts on the side as well. Big cutout on the bottom, all enclosed here. This case basically just comes apart like this. You drop your phone in it, and then once you've done that, you snap it in place. I have serious issues getting this case off of the phone. It is very difficult to get off of the phone. And so that is one of the considerations I had and the reason why I placed it where I did in the lineup within this category. Next up, we've got the in-case slider for the iPhone 4, and this is one side of it that is all enclosed. You take a look at the bottom and there is the area for the dock. You've got your cutout on the side here. You've got your top cutouts and also your camera cutout. I have seen some minor issues with the flash on this. Nothing too major, but there is some minor issues there. This case simply, like all sliders do, come apart, slide your iPhone in there, and then put the bottom piece on. Not a bad case. It is a little bit difficult to get to some of the buttons here. Some people have complained about a real tight fit and some current concerns about scratching the iPhone. I haven't seen any of that yet, but there are some better choices in this category, which is why I placed this where I have in the lineup here today. Next up is the CDO InnoCase Active, and this is two parts. As you can see here, there's a inner shell that is a silicone that You drop your iPhone into it. And then there's the outer shell that is a hard plastic. And this is a pretty good case. It has not a really nice tactile feel to the button presses, and it responds very well. This is what it looks like on the outside. This area for your mute switch is very hard to get to. It's very deep and very small, so keep that in mind, but the buttons are very responsive there. This is your bottom opening. All enclosed on the side, and there you've got your coverage for your sleep-wake, and then up on the top here. Once you get the iPhone in here, these areas don't pull apart quite as much, and it's nice that they've done this with the camera where they've put this kind of a little barrier or a wall there because it doesn't cause any issues with the flash. So that is a Cydio InnoCase Active. And then in this category, my recommendation is the Switch Easy Reptile, and you can see I've got 3 different colors here today. I've mixed and matched, and I like that flexibility, so if you have more than one of these cases, you can mix and match the colors, and these are simply 2 parts. You drop your phone in here, and then you put this outer kind of band over it, and it stays in place. This is a harder piece, so it stays in place really well, and it doesn't flex. Let's take a look at the outside here. You can see you've got a cutout that is very easy to get to your switch. You've got volume buttons that are very easy to press and very tactile. There's the openings on the bottom. This side is all enclosed, and you've got coverage for your sleep-wake, and there's the headphone jack. The back is a very nice, textured feel. Your camera cutout is nice and wide, and it doesn't create any issues with the flash, except I have seen with the brown case, it creates a hint of brown in the darker environments, but with the black and with the green, I haven't exhibited that at all. So Switch Easy Reptile gets my nod in this category. And let's move along to the next category. So the final category I'll show you today is bumpers, and we'll start with the Marwear Sport Grip Edge. You can see I have 2 colors. I'm going to show you the black. You've got your cutout for your switch. You've got your buttons there. This is your opening on the bottom. This side is all enclosed, says Marwear there. Your button for sleep-wake is closed, and there's your cutout for your headphone and your noise canceling. This bumper, like any other bumper, fits right around the iPhone 4. The thing I don't like about this one is the buttons are very hard to press. They are not totally responsive, and this material tends to flex really easily, so even when it's on the phone, it feels like it's bowing out a little bit. So that's why I can't recommend it. Now, if I still had my Scosche Band Edge, I gave that away in a YouTube video, I would be talking to it here. So take a look if you want more details on that one, but I would put that right in the middle. And then for the best bumper, I'm going to call it right now, and I'm still going to say Apple has the best bumper. Sure, there are some shortcomings with this, but you can't beat the quality. White, green, orange, blue, black. There's also a pink one, but let's take a quick look here. And you can see the side, you've got a cutout there. You've got your buttons that are nicely polished and finished with metallic buttons. The bottom is all enclosed. It's a little deep there, so keep that in mind. You may not be able to use it with all your docks, or your accessories, I should say. This is all enclosed, and then likewise on the top, you've got cutouts for your headphone, noise canceling, and you've got a button here on top. Some have complained that their headphone jack won't fit with that hole, so keep that in mind as well. Aside from that, it is a top-notch bumper, and I still say the Apple bumper, at least as of right now, is probably the best one you can get on the market as long as your accessories fit with this. Now, something that didn't fit in its own category that I want to speak to is the SF Bags, the Waterfield Designs suede jacket. This is the one made for the bumper. So if you have an iPhone with a bumper on it, you basically slide it right into the case, and you can throw this thing in a bag, in your pocket, whatever it might be, and it keeps it safe. You give it a tug here, and out it comes. So keep that in mind. That is the SF Bags Waterfield Designs suede jacket. So that's it. That's the updated case roundup video for middle of September 2010. The questions I get a lot is, hey Rick, what case are you using? What do you recommend? These are my top choices. It's really hard for me to call one out on its own. What am I using today, and what have I been using? The candy shell. You can't beat the protection. There are some things that I don't really care for, like I have to use a SendStation dock extender to get this to work, but you know, it's livable for me. I just like the level of protection. Out of all the cases that I've tried so far, and I know you can get OtterBoxes and things like that, This adds some bulk, not a ton, but it makes me feel really secure. So that's what I'm using. The white one doesn't show the scratching or the fingerprinting as much as my purple one, so I really like this white one. No flash issues. There are some issues with, I'm starting to notice, with the kind of flaking in this black area here. Button presses are very nice and easy, so that's what I'm using today, and that's what I'll probably use for a long time to come. But I also recommend in the spec line the geometric as well as the Pixel Skin HD, as long as you get the one that has the good button presses. You can't go wrong with that. You can't go wrong with the Incipio NGP case, and you can't go wrong with the Switch Easy Reptile. So any one of these cases I think you are doing very well with, and you should be pleased. Hopefully this video has helped you out. If you guys have questions or comments, please let me know. Otherwise, we'll talk to you next time.